First of all, welcome back to Commission Reviews, the queen of reality TV. The Trust, the Game of Greed. I have seen different um, oh man. Let's see. Um the story is about greed, right? I don't know why I feel like that. Yes, the theme is about greed, but did we get that from this series? The contestants seem like, well, I'll get, Cowboy for example. He was so emotional about making the decisions to vote. I don't know if having somebody's or thinking in your mind, you have somebody's life in your hands that really could not, deal with it. I want to start with Jake. Jake started making decisions when it came to the girls, and I mean, the ladies, the two black women on the show. I know you guys are gonna say, Commission Reviews, the militant. She's about to go in the things. I mean, I do that. I mean, let me not even lie. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna even sit here and lie and be like, oh no. But we have to talk about these things. This is why I do it on my platform because it's mine to do it. And I'm sure the conversations are being had in other places. And if they're not, let's start one. Okay. So to everyone's, the perception, Jake wanted to go after Tulu and Winnie. And him starting that kind of was a narrative for me for the rest of the show. Now, if you look at my first recap, I spoke about the Women's Alliance. Even though I did see the cracks, don't I did see it. But I'm going to talk about the unity that I saw with the women because it's important to me when I watch reality TV, the unification of black women, women in general, Women's Alliance. I've was one. She must vote at the next ceremony to get the coin. Yeah, I know I worked last night, so just bear with me. Um, she must vote. The money will be hers if the person that she votes goes home. Of course, she's thinking, "Oh my God, how am I going to convince my people?" But the thing about it, Winnie and Tolu was already, getting Bryce out. That was her plan. Now, of course, Julie, as a game tactic, did not want to let everyone know about her offer. Brian, of course, doesn't do it. I don't know. It's just like he's saying about trust. So the trust right now is at 273. A lot of money. It's a lot of money. Okay. I know the money, you know, to me, the money should have been more, but I don't know. Anyway, This show is so different to me. I'm trying to get my words together. I, I want to hear more about why the people are there, the causes. Because every show I watch or so, on my kid, they do say it somewhat, but I think I want to hear more about, especially because it's just about being greedy and being conniving. Even though it's to me, a lot of people are just like kind of not able to handle it, is what I'm seeing. Okay. So Brian and Julie, they come back and everything, and Brian, is very honest and tells everybody, about the vault and the offers. Of course, Julie is lying. We all know that. Acting like she didn't take anything and da da da. Okay. And everybody believed in her, which is the crazy thing. Well, no, everybody's over Tulu, and I think Lindsay was kind of on her a little bit too. But like, oh my god, I'm so proud of you. I was like, what? Okay. She kept one thing I will say. She keeps bringing up, like, people where I come from, who don't have anything. We have the opportunity to be stupid not to take it. I do understand her point that you struggling, you're poor, you come from not having anything. That going on a show like this is having the opportunity to choose yourself. She's looking at it like, girl, you wouldn't have the opportunity. If you was at home, this money is here. She didn't have family. To me, Julie is the most conniving playing the game at all. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. I'm just not. Anyway, they are not even worried about the money being taken out of a trust. I noticed that when they come back, they're not even asking about the money. Okay. Julie, I don't know. I don't know. She should have told them about the money. I feel like how much was taken out, but if they're doing it, even Brian did it when he came in there. Anyway, so Bryce, he's sitting there. He knows that everybody wants to take him out. Lindsay's acting like she's such a buddy buddy with Bryce, but I'm like, you're acting so buddy buddy, but in the next scene, that's the part that tripped me out. Okay, you know, she was like, he not really trying to save himself. And when the question was asked from Tulu, he kind of danced around the response. She's asked, "Why are you here?" He vowed that money is not what defines him, and that he's here for the good and vibes and friends. To us, it's like, bro, there's a lot of money here. You have money, okay? You have a girl who went home, and you should have went home instead. Let's be honest, Bryce. So anyway, Julie, Tulu, and Winnie, Bryce is gone. Bryce asked everybody, who voted me. No one said anything. And he did say Winnie, and he also mentioned Tulu, but then he said if it was Lindsay, he said baby Julie, if it was Lindsay, he said, oh my god, I was a fool. He did say that. But anyway, no one said anything. So anyway, Winnie, Tulu, they're talking about getting the boys together, right? The boys are immediately coming after the women. Now, and I'm gonna say this, and I gotta be transparent when I say this, guys. And for those who don't want to hear it, it's what it is. I I was sitting here biased watching as a blogger, and when I noticed that in this episode, when the guys got together, they immediately went to target Winnie and Tolu, and went to immediately save Lindsay, Julie. And you probably said, no, they said Jay. They said Mama Jay's name a lot. But when it came down to the opportunity to actually get her out, the response was, let's go after Winnie. So people are typing in and saying it's a little bit toxic, microaggressive. Why are they going after the black women? Somebody say, why are the black women going on reality TV at all, Jesus? And I sat back and I'm like, let me watch this and then give my opinion. Okay. Mm. So Jake and Brian devised a plan. The boys devised their own strategic plan. They go after Lindsay. They think that Winnie and Tulu mean. Now there's some words and some adjectives I didn't like. Here come the fireworks. Why? Because I guess Winnie's gonna blow up. A black woman's upset, doesn't like an outcome or response or whatever's going on. She's dissatisfied. She's going to have fireworks and blow up. Boom, right? It's always going to be a bunch of gunshot, right? Right? Yeah. Just follow. That, okay. All right. Still watching bias and reserving opinions, but I give all facts when I break things down. Okay. So we have a new test. They sit around blindfolded, candles there, 3 for each person. Each contestant will go up, blow out the candle of the person they believe is telling the most lies. And again, we over where 3 candles of one person has been blown completely out. Now, Gasper, the one that likes to talk a lot, Brian, Jack, Lindsay. It's just so funny how this alliance came together when Lindsay, you was all about the girls. I'm all about the girls. So anyway, Brian, who doesn't have a chance to go up there, they blow out Whitney's 3 candles without even tripping. Brooke, she tells Whitney, takes Whitney, pulls her aside. She says she gives her the card to the vault before everybody take out their blindfolds off. I was like, this is got to be the most beautiful car I have ever seen in my life. Come on, Winnie. So Winnie trips me out. I love me some Winnie. Let me tell you something. When Winnie was there and she said, "You guys are a bunch of cowards. You never came for me, correct? Period. If you had anything to say, you could have came to me." So now I'm trying to figure out who blew out whose candles. I mean, who blew out Winnie's candles? Of course, Julie's like, she says she voted for Jay. Just to throw a vote out there. Jay was like, Mama Jay was like, she said she voted for Jake. And then Julie's like, Wendy voted for her. She was like, ooh. So Lindsay didn't get a chance to vote. Tulu goes, and I love how she did. She goes in front of Gasper, Jake, and Brian. I don't care if nobody says if people think she was being combative, being aggressive. She was irritating. She had every right to be, in my opinion. So of course, she did not know that Brian did not have anything to do with it. Of course, she was like, "Who did what? Who voted for who?" And say it. And the guys were like, "Why is it fair? Y'all didn't say who voted for Bryce." I understood that point. I did. And she said, "Yes, I voted for." She said, "I voted for Bryce." She did. She was honest. Of course, they didn't say anything still. So Wendy tells, Julie, Mama J, and Tulu about her offer, but of course she keeps the amount lower. Of course, now, once again, Julie is tripping. So concerned about her Jakey Poo, who constantly, time and time again, does not show loyalty to her in her face since the beginning of this entire season, which is baffling to me. Now that Julie feels like these things, of course, her other option is, Winnie has to go. But of course, selfishness isn't black and white, correct? Or period. Whatever. So, there's a lot going on in the house. Um, let's be honest and let's be clear. Okay. We literally have I mean, regardless of how it's broken down, it's all white people against 2 black women. I'm sorry. And that is the way the optics look. The way that was done on narrative, I know there's a lot of things that are missing pieces, conversations with all contestants. I already know that. Just telling you what's happening. This is dodgeball, baby. It was going over to the other side so quick. Okay. Tuli and Winnie, just got tired of Julie, just pretty much taking women back forever, back, running behind Jake. The same way that Mariah is running behind James on the challenge. No different. They ask her straight up, where you wanna where's your loyalty at? Julie does this weird thing and oh god, calls him mean and all this mess. And I was like, girl, when he was like, he has never went out, Jake has never went out his way for you. I just don't. And you're like second to Brian and Gasper, which is true. When there was a time for a dinner they had to choose or whatever, didn't he choose Brian? A dinner with somebody? One dinner? Anyway, when he was frustrated and not defeated, it kept fighting. I was just like, oh, to the very end. I felt bad. Like, oh, she just seemed like she was not down, maybe just a little discouraged. I don't know. Probably a lot. She asked Jake and Gasper, they blew out the candles. They, told her to go to Brian. When he, of course, goes to Brian. He was not the person that blew out the candles. Of course, she figured out that it is Lindsay. She's in the game, which if Lindsay continues, well, no, if she had a, well, anyway, we'll get to that. Brooke comes with this whole poker thing. They get like these cards, and each person has their name, have a name on it. For Brooke asks a question. Okay, play the card that answers the question. Anytime someone plays a card with a contestant's name on it, contestant gets a chip. Who's live at the party? Who do you think would be likely here to end the experience? And it's really showing that, Jake does not look at Julie for any of that. Brian is the answer for everybody. The final question: who is the most trusted ally? Lindsay picks Jay. But boys, Gasper and Jake throw in Lindsay's name. Like, oh, and Whitney had just said, okay, well, you playing both sides anyway. That just added, let her know that pretty much. They added some money to the trust. Jake, oh, Jake is give me a high five for Gasper. Julie's looking like. So Brooke then says Jay, who received the fewest chips, is going to a vote. I was like, oh. So she's offered 25 Jake. The one that just won, of course. But if she shoots the money, she goes home. She said, I got it. I'm going home. Mama J to me straight up. Mama J said, you know what? I'm going. I'm taking the money and I'm running. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Done. She saw that Lindsay. She was like, she's with the boys. I'm just over it. She was just over it. I was like, wow. I'm ready to go. I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. So the team comes around and she left. Lulu and Winnie are like, we don't have any allies. We're it's done. So Julie, Lindsay, and the boys, they go talk all together. Mind you, separate from Winnie and Tolu. I cannot wait to hear your comments in the comment section. I'm looking so forward to that. Yes. I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm just, wow. It's very crazy. So let's break it down like this. You have two white women who decided to side with the white men and left the two black women on the side. That was a decision that was made. People are going to say, well, they went with power, which is actually true. The majority. It's the same on Big Brother. Let's break it down a little further. If you look at Big Brother, most of the years, it was always the same winners, same alliances, Same people who win or get together to win. It's always the same. It's not changed in the past 3, 4 years. But when I talk about these things and have these conversations, I talk about them to spark change or to show that this is probably showing what the world actually really is, breaking it down. Not necessarily anything to do with the show or the production or anything like that, more or less with the people and how America actually is. So Tulu and Winnie, of course, was really they was immediately put together like, oh, their lines together, you know. The only one who loved their friendship and didn't see it is the Mama Jane. This is actually showing how America and the racist undertones, unfortunately, might become an angry way, coming in a real straight up way. It's unfortunate, but I look forward to talking to the cast because I just again, I'm not speaking ill of these people or anything. There's so much we don't know that went behind the scenes, the gray area, all these things, how they felt, decisions, who said what, so much. But again, I am breaking down what I saw on my screen and also reading the comments and looking at what people think about the show itself. Show's very intriguing, I'll say. Okay. Okay. Of course, the majority decided, we got it. Now, Julie's like, I would never vote against Winnie. Tulu pulls Brian and apologizes for how she got upset about Winnie. Um, Brian's just like, I get it. You stand for your friend. So it's time to go to the dining table. Winnie says, do you have anything you want to address? She says, Lindsay, talking about you go to the girls' room, talk to us, take it to the guys, talk to the guys, and whatever they you take it back to us. And you want to blow my candle out. I was like, well, she broke it down. Of course, he has nothing to say. Everybody goes to vote. Brian goes to the vote, right? Um, of course, Brian, of course, is freaking out. Like, yo, what is this? Um, he did he block 3 people? He did to vote. It was Lindsay, Jake, and I forgot the third person. Because he had the most number of chips poke. That's why he got it. Okay. Some people don't like the different twists. I don't know why people are not really happy with this show. I actually enjoy the show. But anyway, um, he has a card and and Brooke says that when he's going home, we have 6 contestants left in the house. I thought Winnie was straight up and down when she played. She was. How was she was the biggest liar? She wasn't. She actually told the truth. It was very transparent. So Brian was like, if he looks at the offer, he has to take it, or we randomly give him somebody else. Um, he takes it because he don't want to take a risk if he gives him somebody else. I understand. They take the 30 G's, but 3 names be blocked. Julie, Jake, and Brian. So Tulu feels like I'm sorry. Here's why she's there for her parents, and I understand. She's just there for the fight. Lindsay's feeling like whatever. Anyway, the circle of trust. Each contestant is given an envelope that contains their individual voting histories. They decide to tell everybody about it, but if they reveal the contents of their envelope, 5Gs is added to the trust. If they're all being honest. Gasper, Jake, and Brian and Tulu stayed true to their word, and they showed their history. You have to pay paper with the names on it. Lindsay was doing her talking and back and forth about how she showed Jewels and Bryce and Winnie. The guys were like, they felt like she was lying because she did not admit it. Lies of omission. And then he realized that Tulu and Winnie even telling the truth this whole entire time. You so late. Julie goes last. Everybody tripped out a little bit because of her voting. She voted Brian Gasper. I'm sorry, Brian Gasper and Jake. They figured out she voted for Joelle, Simone, and Bryce, and they're voted for Winnie. It was like, what? So the ceremony, Julie does wonder if Tulu and Lindsay, kind of squash the beef and play the game. But baby, it's too late. Lindsay tried, but when she tried to come in that room, I cannot stand when they're so mean. Some of the things I will say, the narrative, mean, fireworks. I know some people may not know this, but these are adjectives that Black women are typically called. I got called aggressive recently, but that is something that we're typically called aggressive. She's gonna pop off, and I really wish someone being so calm. We've got to stop this narrative because we're not gonna always pop off or get upset when we don't like something or when we hear something, or that we don't like or whatever. Anyway, Tula tripped me out when she said, I'm gonna vote for Lindsay the Snake, baby. That whole thing changed his mind about Tulu. But he did vote for Miss Lindsay though. Lindsay went to the house. Okay. Everybody was like, I would have been looking at faces. We have 5 players left, y'all. I don't know. I think that Julie needs to realize that Jake, I don't know what's up with Jake. It's like he's the one people know that's his girlfriend. You go to school like, oh, don't tell anybody we're together. That's the way he's acting. He's treating her like that. And she's just falling for every time holding hands, all these things. I don't know. I don't know. I love Mama J, but she was going in, baby. She could not. They could not handle. They could not take Mama J. So people are having their issues with the show. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like. I read somewhere the twists and turns. I was like, to me, it kept me. I liked it. I liked this. The time I've already gone through episode 7, and so much has gone on. And like I said, the show or anybody else cannot be blamed for people microaggressions and undertones that we're seeing in this series. That just it's in America. Just being honest. So for me, I don't know. I really want to talk to the cast and I really want to see the reunion. I hope they have a reunion to break that down. I really want to see what you guys say in the comments. I broke down the entire episode and no, I did not get mad. Like I didn't, but you have to look at the optics and the narrative. I know you guys will come in here and try to break things down in your own opinion, which is fine. I'll respond. But look at how things played out, which is why I am rooting for Winnie. And if you all listen to my earlier video, I'm sorry, I have a cold, so I know I sound congested because I am sick. But when I was so excited about the women, Julie, all of them, and to see this, it's just trash. And I feel like the women just pretty much deserted Winnie, and it deserted. Jay really was the only one, and Jay was at the point where she was just like, "I'm done with it. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go." And so she took her winnings and she left. I said, Mama J, baby, you go get yours. You go ahead. Okay. I would have left too, period. Okay. So that is The Trust. I think a new episode comes on the 24th. I want to say the 24th, January 24th, will be the episode. Yeah, it should be the final episode. Uh, first, and I will upload it to everyone else a few hours later. Do not miss all the content anymore. Subscribe to all my channels, and please, guys, do me a favor. Speaking of trusted coin, hit that Cash App, Kamisha Reviews. Okay. With that being said, guys, I love you guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Join the membership.